Hello everyone! Today we are going to talk about Fnatic and their first 5 games. As you could see, or should I say as per usual by now, Fnatic's split started slowly. Fnatic started the split with 2 losses to Misfits and Rogue, one against Schalke and Vitality, and finished the second week with a loss to Mad Lions. There was a fiesta, a one-sided stomp, another fiesta, a clean win, and another fiesta that got turned on its head. So what was the common denominator? Why is Fnatic losing so many games this early in the split? There were a lot of points that were raised by the community and analysts. Niski's TF laning, upsets inefficient teamfighting on Kai'Sa, Bwipo inting lanes and waves again and again. While these are all somewhat true, I feel like the main reason got missed in the public's discussion, even though it has been there for quite some time now. Fnatic has made changes at the start of the split, getting Niski from C9 and getting upset from Astralis. While I do think that in the middle they got an upgrade or at least a side grade, they for sure downgraded their bot laner, going from the best European AD carry to an 81 rated one. Nemesis was underperforming. We know from interviews that he didn't see eye to eye with Bwipo and Illy on how the game should be played and certain engages that should or should not have happened. At least at this point, it seems like Niski has better synergy with the rest on that department, engaging with the others when a teamfight comes. But the main problem of Fnatic stayed the same. They always want to go in, no matter the comp. The Fnatic players, especially Bwipo and Hilly, don't know how to pick their fights and they get themselves into engages they shouldn't get into. What I mean by that is that even if Fnatic for example want to play a comp that kites back, they will get on the offensive and engage a fight, chasing their opponents and playing into their comp's weaknesses. For example, in their game vs Rogue, Fnatic drafted Graves, Aphelios, Galio and Braum. Rogue drafted Kai'Sa, TF, Rene and Panth. It's clear that the fights are going to revolve around whether Fnatic can keep their Aphelios alive, and that they should waste Rogue's tools, kill the divers, and only then chase the leftovers or go for objectives. Even with this comp, Fnatic decided to over-engage again and again, losing fights that they shouldn't have even taken. For example, at the 11th minute of this game, Rogue got into the Drake pit first and set up Dragon Vision. Fnatic went in as 4, but then Niski flashed in and Hilly and Selfmade followed. Upset was left alone in the back, not really being able to join the team. It ended up only in a 1-for-1, but then Bwipo decided to try and force again and died, giving Rogue the teamfight win and the Drake. The problem is not that Fnatic just can't play those kiteback comps because they are not patient enough, they also have a very clear style. They are at their best when they scrap from short range against their opponents, and it's so telegraphed. They draft short range and a lot of hard engage, which can work against teams that also do that. That's how they won against Schalke for example. Schalke drafted Kai'Sa, Lucian, Lilia and Galio, who want to fight from short range against Fnatic's Zed, Samira, TF and Graves. The game was a fight for the better engage, and in this game Fnatic wins. The problem is that the style is very telegraphed. They simply, as we saw, can't play the other teamfighting style. So to win they always have to go for these shorter ranged comps, and this is exactly what Mad Lions used to win their game versus Fnatic. Let's take a look at a fight from this game for a clear example. In this game, Fnatic drafted their usual short range in-your-face comp with a slight twist. While they did go for Pant, Irelia, Kai'Sa and Leona, they also went for the Evelynn for scoutability and pick potential. Mad smartfully answered with Taliyah, Azir and Xayah, which are all champions that are very good when being jumped on. Their kits enable them to kite back really well, with Rel and Wukong as mid shields that help them get those divers off. At the 27th minute, we see a good example for this kind of teamfight. After a lot of ups and downs, Fnatic were 3k gold up. They were setting up the Baron while Selfmade found an opportunity to chunk Humanoid. Fnatic decided to go all in knowing that Humanoid is low. After a very long cat and mouse around the Wolves wall, Mad won the fight only losing Karzi in the process of getting the ace. Irelia jumped in and got Wukong ulted while Xayah used her R for safety. The rest of Fnatic got stuck in Rel's ulti while Xayah is damaging them. Upset dove in and got denied by Taliyah's E and Azir's ulti, and at that point, the Fnatic players were already out of gap closing tools, and Azir and Taliyah could just hit them down while they can't walk up to them. The kiteback comp won, and Mad used this fight to take the Baron and win the game eventually. To sum up, ever since getting Bwipo and Hilly together, Fnatic had the problem of overforcing and only knowing how to engage. For the last 2 years, they had both Reckless and Nemesis that sometimes tamed down the aggression, but sometimes made it look like a clear dissynergy in the team. While Niski is definitely an improvement for last split's Nemesis, it does not solve Fnatic's main issue of overforcing and only knowing how to engage. The team might be able to do what it did last year on a slightly more coordinated note, but it's still flawed. The coaching staff have a very tough mission. On the one hand, you would want to be able to play all of these styles, to be able to answer to every other style that is being thrown at you. On the other hand though, it doesn't seem like these players can play this way from what we've seen in the last 2 seasons. They had a perfect AD carry to do that with and they couldn't pull it off. The coaching staff will have to find other solutions to this problem in my opinion. For example, drafting hard 1-3-1 comps that rely on split pushing, pick potential and flanks could be a good answer to those Juggermauls or other kiteback comps, but it all comes down to execution as the Juggermaul is easier to play. Furthermore, this year's Fnatic can't go as far as they did last year with this strat in my opinion, as teams get smarter and they don't have one of the best AD carries in the world anymore. They will have to adapt and branch out, but the question for what still remains for Yamato Cannon to answer. Thank you everyone so much for watching, check out my channel for more videos that I have done. Be sure to subscribe for future content.